Hello and welcome to Revolution Mail. In this episode of the Inglenook project, we will be making some custom buffers. There are timestamps in the description to help you navigate the video easier. First of all, let's get started with the do's and the don'ts of doing this. So first of all, make sure you use a ruler, because obviously we're going to be using a knife to cut some wood. That's what we're going to be using. Hopefully you've seen the buffer in this preview. So you also want a sharp knife. A sharp knife is very important. You've also got to make sure to measure twice. So to start off, let's start by looking at my buffer that I've made. I've used watercolours to get the wooden effect because they don't overlay onto the wood. They sort of like, I don't know how to explain it, they sort of go into the wood and soak into the wood and stain the wood rather than paint on the wood. But obviously the buffer heads, they're painted with acrylic. They come out much brighter, and I think that looks much better because they would actually be painted like that in real life, and the other wooden bits wouldn't be. So that's why I use watercolours for those. So you really need to be accurate when you're doing this because it's really small. So in real life, this would be much bigger. So little mistakes, you wouldn't be able to see as much, so you literally can't make very many mistakes. You can't have like big, obviously, differences because it will just show up. It'll be there and it'll show up. So, and also another thing to consider is using templates. Templates are brilliant. They helped me a lot when I was making this. As you can see in this video, I've got some templates ready to go. Now templates are important because you can use them to literally measure up without having to measure out with a ruler every time you cut one, to make sure it's following the right angle and that if you're doing a slope. For the layout of your buffer, you need to make sure that the back and the sides are touching the baseboard or are on the cork or whatever you put down underneath your track. But the front bit, that needs to be raised above the track and have like grooves in it to go over the steel. So that's what I would suggest if you're doing this and don't want to actually follow the tutorial. But I'm basically giving you loads of tips, and in the background you can see what's going on. So I don't really need to explain it too much. Now you can either have sloped sides like I have in my video, or you can have staggered sides, which means basically you're cutting them flat and not at an angle, and it just literally goes down in like bob sections. So basically how I put this together, after cutting it all out, I laid them out next to each other and made sure it's all right. And I've got another strip of wood. This one's unpainted, and I basically put glue along it and stuck it to the back of those strips that I cut out, as you can see. Now I also did this for the angled one, but you've got to be careful when you're doing this because you need to make sure they're all level. Now it might seem weird why you have to keep them level, surely you're just sticking them all to the back. Well, you've got to keep them all level because when you come to put the base in, the base has to rest on these. So putting them in an order which allows, or like an angle which allows you to do that, is important. Now bearing in mind that the front side of the buffer is going to be raised, it's not going to be flat, so you can't measure from the bottom up where to put it. It sounds a bit strange, but basically to help you along with this, for the back one you put the batten right near the top, then measure, when you do the second one you put it next to it. The back, you put the back next to the one that the video's showing you, but you put the back one next to it and make sure it's all level, and the front one you'll sit next to the sloped one and work that out. So it does make sense once you get a grasp of it. So if you've enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful, I hope I've covered all the points. And if not, you would see video evidence of it all. And if not even that, ask me in the comments. I'll be happy to reply. I'm not very good at trying to put all the information into a video. So If you've enjoyed the video, then please give it a like. If you want to see more content like this, including the Inglenook project, now this is it, which this is a series of, then please hit that subscribe button. I mean, I never thought I would get this far, and look where we are. So, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed, make sure to stick around and see some more. Ciao for now. Bye bye. You're lucky I had this video. The other one was an hour long.